So I decided to sit down and watch the first 2 episodes of Lizzos Big Grrls.
See, this is
on Amazon Prime. Okay, because she just released it, and it's a okay. Hear me out.
Women don't even look big. That's all I'm gonna.
Bro, that's
fucking
what
say.
I said.
These women don't look big, and this is my problem with this shit.
They look fine, right?
Is
they
that
look
if
fine.
they all look like Lizzo when they tried
fine.
this, by all means, have this dance show. See who the fuck can be the most fit. All that. These women don't look big. I would consider some of these women thick. Like,
bro,
for real.
They're offended that you don't consider them big. That's offensive, dog. They call them by what they are, bro.
They're not big though.
No, they're thick. Amazon union workers in New York, I believe. I don't want to get this wrong. They won the vote to unionize.
To unionize.
Amazon,
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's big.
So yeah, that is super big because it's working class people, right? Like what I was saying earlier, like these people have no control over their lives when it comes to being an Amazon worker. Amazon literally tracks you at every step of the way when you're at work.
Yeah, that shit is weird.
And they basically track you at home if you have all their products. So
Oh, that was a great snap.
Talk about doing the fusion dance.
The fusion.
Yeah, we're getting really
It's
good
fucking
at it.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, no, yeah, and you know what? I wanted to start today with a good story that I had over the weekend.
Okay.
Because I've been feeling kind of down. Sometimes my anxiety gets out of control, and I kind of want to just like not do anything.
Yeah.
So I went out on Friday night.
Okay.
Was it Friday night? I don't remember if it was Friday night or Saturday night.
Did I go out with you?
No, might have been Friday night because I remember the next day we went to the Citadel, right? We went to
Yeah. The next day we went to the Citadel.
And I told you I had forgot my credit card at one of the bars that I went. So I went out on Friday to a bar.
Yes.
And I was getting ready to go do something else, and I ended up just canceling that and went ahead and gone out with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
We went to this bar out here. It's really nice. It's like a real cozy and shit. It's a cocktail bar, not like a.
This is where they serve great burgers.
No. This is just like a cocktail bar with like finger food.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not finger food. It's kind of like a small it's a small bar menu.
What area?
Culver City. I don't really want to burn it out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's.
You're fucking gatekeeper, dude. I swear
No, but
to
I
God.
don't know if it's appropriate for me to say things like that on the internet. It's called the alley.
Oh, okay.
Right, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say things like that.
Why would you not be allowed to say things like that?
I don't know, but okay, it's called the alley, whatever.
Did you have a cocktail?
I did have a cocktail. So Willie and them hit me up. My buddies hit me up and they're like, "Hey, yo, we're going to the bar if you want to meet up with us." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it." I was already halfway in the shower. I hopped out, got ready, like as if because they normally don't get ready to go out.
Wait, Willie went out?
Yeah, he goes out to bars.
Since when?
Since
That's a grown man now, huh? I keep forgetting that. We've been watching him grow up.
I show up before they do, and my cousin's birthday was the same day, and I was like, I told him he only drinks whiskey, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll go ahead and take a shot for you, a nice shot of whiskey.
Live vicariously.
Live vicariously. So I asked the guy for a Paloma and a Maker's Mark. And, I'm still waiting. I'm like, I don't want to sit inside. It's
You like
dark.
Maker's Mark?
What happened?
Maker's Mark? You like that?
It's not that I like it. I don't have a preference for, like, liquor. I just haven't tried it. It was good.
All right.
It was good. I don't have, like, an issue with it.
So you ran up everybody's shots. You were like, I got this.
No,
I got this one. I got this one.
And then I go outside to see, like, the patio seating. And just as I'm about to sit down, like, at a cafeteria table looking type thing, I see that there's a group right in front of me, like a group of 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my cousins told me, like, yeah, when I was in New York, when I would go out, I would just randomly walk up to a group of people and ask them if I could sit down or join them or whatever, just mingle. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna try. I was like, I'm gonna fucking try. And
they looked at you like you're a fucking weirdo, huh? See, this is the problem with Los Angeles. They judged you beforehand. I already know. Go ahead.
I walk up to them with my shot of whiskey and my Paloma, and I'm like, hey, guys, do you mind if I join you guys while I wait for my buddies to show up? It was 2 girls, a guy, and 2 guys on this side. And they're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. I mean, obviously,
okay.
immediately the tension was
A little
like,
awkward
there's the
type of
layer of
thing.
like, oh, look at the stranger coming to sit with us.
Yeah.
I sit down, like, I know how to talk to people. I'm good with words, you know me. We talk every fucking week.
You don't know how to talk to people.
I have
You
a
tell
way
people
with
to
words.
relax before they've even woken up.
I know, right?
That's crazy shit.
This fool got super mad at me because I told him we were gonna record today, and he's telling me, nah, bro. Like, he's telling me some shit, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna watch the game.
Yeah.
But hurry up! I don't want to miss the game before
A certain time.
Before a certain time, I was like, bro, relax. I said, it's like I told him to relax because I'm like, we still had to record, and he almost killed me.
Yeah, I need my breakfast before
Yeah,
anything.
This
but
man,
go ahead.
you guys have to understand. So do I too. Like, if I haven't eaten anything, I will kill you. I will murder. I'm gonna stop right there. So I go to them and I sit down and like it's super chill. I can see that they're all having a drink. These two guys are vaping, and I immediately say, "Hey, I'm such and such." Introduce myself to everybody at the table. Just start talking to them. The two girls are right there, just look at like kind of trying to see if I'm safe or not.
Yeah, if you were a creep or not.
Yeah, if I was a creep or not.
And they ultimately decided you were a creep.
No, I sat down and I started talking to them. I said, hey, you guys all from here? Where I'm from? And then they gave me that answer like, oh, we're all kind of from around here. And then I broke the tension a little bit by like, oh, yeah, I grew up here. I live in Culver City next to downtown.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, well, we normally don't go out like east and stuff. We stay in the west side because they're from Marina. And Marina from there is not that far.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people do live there. And I thought that was kind of cool. I was like, oh, hey, like, I know the area. I was very familiar with it. So I wasn't like trying to think of what to say and stuff.
Yeah.
I just started flowing because I'm like, oh, if they're from here and they're only on the west side, I know much of the west side. And I'm like, so you guys never go to downtown? You guys never hit those spots and stuff? Arts District? They're like, no, we're never really out there. A lot of us stay out here. And I was just kind of like, oh, well, like, how do you guys know each other and stuff like that? Well, they're like, oh, well, I'm married to him. She just got engaged. I mean, she just recently got married. Most of them were married. All of them were married.
So you made some friends.
I made some quick friends. I was like, hey, like,
cool. You
that's
exchange
really cool. Like,
social
really
media
nice
with them.
Like, and then I don't know how Catholicism got brought up because I told them. I was like, hey, like, I've been thinking about my own confirmation and first communion. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of into that. Like, my family's very religious, my father's family, and I don't understand I don't practice Catholicism. And one of them actually was super interested in what I was saying because it turns out she's Catholic, her family's Catholic, and we just started joking about how like, yeah, every Catholic couple I know, they've been together for years, and like all they ever tell me is the same thing, wait. And they were like, oh yeah, we can totally relate. My parents, they've been together for such and such.
So you were skating the fuck out of this guy's fiance.
No, they were all actively listening to me, dude. I had control of the table.
I was gonna say, so you controlled the room.
Oh yeah, dude. I was being super charismatic. I mean,
you're not a charismatic guy. Don't say that.
I swear to God, I was being super charismatic. That. I mean, you know me. My charisma works harder than my fucking looks.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have to work twice as hard as you do, Nick. I feel like you don't understand this.
Yeah, no, I get rejected nasty. I got a great story about that afterwards.
You don't have really good English,
Yeah, and I'm stupid.
And I'm ugly. So like, thank God I'm not both.
I'm a fun time at least, like I'll make you laugh, all that shit. But you start asking me about something educational and be like,
this
all right.
motherfucker just can't. He just stops straight up, just shuts down.
Yeah, I try to articulate sentences, doesn't come out. It's the same like this. Like if you've been watching for a while, you'll see I try to articulate a sentence, doesn't work. Simple.
That's how I talk about my girl. Like I'd be like, I try to talk to her about something, she just like has no idea what I'm talking about. Anyways,
but she's from a foreign country. Isn't that kind of normal? I'm kidding. Okay.
No, anyway, so I sit down and we're chatting it up, and then like the guy next to me is like, oh hey man, like how what do you do and stuff, and I was asking him what he does and how what they're up to. Yeah. Quick chatter because like I wasn't running out of things to say or talk about. I was just like, well, I don't expect to be sitting here this whole time.
Right.
And then the bartender, one of the servers comes by to pick up our drinks, and I had accidentally dropped the shot of whiskey.
How do you accidentally drop a shot of whiskey?
So I put it on the table, and I was using my hands as like I had my hands on the table.
Oh, like a stand.
No. I had my hands on the table to kind of show that like, hey, I'm a harmless person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as I kind of moved my hand to talk like this, right? I put my hand on top of the shot glass, and I didn't violently tip it over. I just I just brought my hand down, and the glass just tipped over. It wasn't dramatic or anything. It was just boom.
But you're not really a motion like guy. Like you don't use your hands when you talk.
Oh, well, because I was doing
like I do all the time.
I was flexing all of my communication skills to to keep their attention. Anyway, so it gets to the point. So they see that and they're like, oh, I was like, whatever. So I order another one. And before it gets to the table, Willie shows up. He flags me down, my buddy. He's like, hey, can you come over? I'm like, no, come. Because I wanted to prove to them, like, hey, look, this is my buddy.
This is my friend. I didn't just come here like a creep.
Dressed to impress. You know, he had his hair. You know how his hair is. And he just straight up, he caught their attention even more because they all realized, they're like, oh, shit, like, this guy's not a fucking weirdo and not just pretending to wait for his friends. So, boom, like, even as I'm getting up, like, this woman is still talking to me, right? Like she's, because we were talking about what it means to have your first confirmation and your first communion, and then you have to pick a saint. Yeah. And I wasn't familiar with any saint. I was like, she was like, yeah, I picked some female. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm probably gonna pick, I don't know, like
Saint Peter.
I don't know. I honestly don't know any of the saints.
I think that's one of them.
But I'll probably pick the Boondock Saints. Probably pick them, or William Dafoe. Can I pick William Dafoe?
I believe you can.
I want to pick William Dafoe as my saint. Anyways, so like I get up and go. We go to the bar. We sit down, and like Willie is just like bragging about how I just was sitting with a bunch of random strangers. They're like good-looking strangers, not ugly strangers either.
Oh.
And I'm like just thinking to myself, like, damn, like why was I feeling so down? Like, clearly I'm charismatic. I can talk to people. And I mean, I'm a little ugly, but not. I mean, I got the punchable face, and you got that RBF face, right? It sucks. Like, I hate.
You got a punchable face.
I fucking hate
You're
that I have
an
a
idiot.
punchable face. That shit fucking pisses me off. Because I've been punched in the face before, and there are some people who haven't been punched in the face.
Yeah, you have to get punched in the face.
You have to get punched
at some point in your life.
It's just like a thing. I've been punched in the face, so I know I somewhat know how to take a punch.
Yeah,
and I
pretty
used
much.
to practice and stuff.
Because before that, like. To be honest, in my opinion,
yeah,
I don't think being punched in the face hurts. I think it's just shocking.
You've never been punched in the face.
I've been punched in the face. Twice. Yeah, barefisted.
Oh, okay.
Twice.
Maybe you got that.
One was a sucker punch. Like I just ate that shit.
Fuck them.
No, actually, I've been punched in the face 3 times. Because one guy, he cut my eye open right here.
Yeah.
My little cheekbone right here. Cut my eye open. But it didn't hurt.
It didn't hurt?
It didn't hurt. I was just shocked.
It was probably the adrenaline. Like, you didn't feel it at first, but later it was bruising.
No, nothing.
All right, it was a bitch-ass punch then.
He cut my eye open enough.
He cut your eye open?
He cut my cheekbone. It literally was cut open.
What the fuck? Then clearly it did damage, but it didn't
hurt is my point.
Well,
and most of the times I've been punched in the face, it doesn't hurt.
All right.
It's just shocking because you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Let me try.
Yeah, go ahead. Right here. Lay a good one right here, motherfucker.
Hit me with my left. So so that was super chill. I just felt like sharing that story because like I was feeling a little bit underconfident about just like being able to mingle with people, and I was like,
and now you're wearing tight pants. You got new shoes.
It was only because like
you got the glasses back on. I could see the confidence rising.
It was only because they had not showed up on time, and I was already ready to go. And I'll do it again. I don't give a
But that's some funny shit because you are always the one who's late. So the one time you're punctual, they're not there.
Well, no, it's because I was only punctual because I was already getting ready when they told me they were going. Okay. If they had told me like when they're getting ready, I would have been there after they got there, and I wouldn't have met these people. I didn't even mention the podcast because I didn't want to like shove what I did. Right. Actually, it didn't even occur to me to say it.
They never asked you what you do.
One of the guys did, but I didn't bring up the podcast. I just told him I used to work for maintenance.
Oh, okay.
Because
that's some creepy shit. If I heard that, I'd be like, this guy's a weirdo.
What, for the podcast?
No, like that you used to work for maintenance. I'd be like, this is some like Bates Motel shit.
No, I told him that I used to work for a property company because she asked me what's the name of the property company. Yeah. I said Scott Properties. I shouldn't have said it because it's just whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Monetize his ass.
Oh yeah, I know, right? I'll probably bleep it out. Because I was like, oh yeah, the offices are right here. It's not that far. Like I can show you.
Google Map that bitch right now. Don't play with me.
So I get up and we go and we're back at the fucking in the bar, and I was just joking with the bartender. I was like, yo man, like how's your day going? How's everything? He's like, shit's going. I'm like, yeah, I bet shit's going with $7 a gallon, And he's
You
like,
ain't
yeah,
wrong.
bro, I just decided to get a Jeep. I'm like, man, dude, just get an electric car. Save yourself the trouble.
Or get a 4-cylinder.
Get a 4-cylinder. Just
I
quit your
paid
job and
$35
walk.
to
put
fill
your
my
job on lock.
gas.
No,
Thir-
just walk.
$35 to fill my gas the other day, and
Take
I
an
was at
Uber.
25%.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
And it was the per gallon. It was like 5.89, 5.79, something like that.
Interesting.
Do you know the place on? Yeah,
Where?
where I think it's National. It's got the silver building. They sell the cookies there, the bomb ass cookies.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah,
Gooey's.
Yeah, the Zoomies. Yeah,
The Zoomies,
those.
that's it, Gooey's.
Yeah, that's the cheapest gas in LA right now.
That's funny. I don't.
And you live right
honestly-
next to it.
I do. I just honestly like. What are we supposed to fucking do about this gas price outrage? Like, people.
You
think
gotta
that
pay
having
it.
gas. Like, people think that having gas. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. Like, nobody's complaining. Nobody's up in arms. Nobody's protesting the gasoline station. Why? Because you're gonna pay it anyways.
Mhm.
I honestly think it's a tax on poor people. Like, this is not my idea, but I've heard other progressives talk about it, and I completely agree. It's a fucking tax on poor people, working class citizens, because some of us have no idea what it's like for, working, a warehouse job or one of those jobs that blue collar America has to pull off, and a lot of that, it's hard work.
So are you calling blue collar America poor?
No, I'm saying that it's a tax on people who are poor people, on on working class families, right? You have a family of 4, 5, you're commuting to work maybe to the city and back or something. Like, maybe you live in the suburbs. Like, yeah, it's easy to just buy an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
But those kinds of savings don't add up until, you've been using it for a while.
Okay.
Immediate relief is necessary. Like, Nick, like, you as a brand new car owner should realize that, like, wow, like, I have to spend a tax of money on my car, and I have no control over that price. If we were a little bit more educated, we'd say things like, well, what about the strategic oil reserve? The thing that is there for these things. But no, then the governor's like, you know what? We're going to give everybody who has at least 2 registered vehicles, or
400 a piece.
a maximum, maximum. Bro, give us back our money, bro. You literally just take our money. Literally, dog. 60%? You're stupid, dog. You sound dumb as. You
think addressing them as dog is the best?
He's a scumbag for not doing more. Like, okay,
who's
doing
a
more,
scumbag?
whatever the fuck that means. Clearly, he's run
Newsom?
California into the ground. But if I met him, Garcetti.
Or
Wait, which one is which? That's how mad I am. I don't know which one is which anymore. Both. Whichever one is the former mayor of San Francisco. Just look at whatever look at San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
Look at what's happening there.
San Francisco has always kind of been in a rut, though.
Why?
Because they were the first people to...
The first people,
I know, right?
The first people to gentrify the shit out of a country. I mean, out of a city.
Yeah, I mean, essentially,
It just bothers me really a lot that, like, outside of, like, our own lives, I don't see young people like you and me talking about. I get it. We live different lives. People have
Don't add me in this. Young people like you.
Dude, I feel like it's my
I
job.
don't talk about this shit.
It's part of I think it's part of I think it's necessary, dude, like, to talk about it, because if we don't, it's just gonna get swept under the rug, and everybody's just gonna think like, well, that's just how life is, inflation, food, just eat lentils,
But it is.
How do we explain inflation to people who, like, don't understand what it is, right? It's when the government prints a
everybody
bunch of money.
understands it at this point.
What's up?
I feel like everybody should understand it at this point.
Yeah, but that's not common sense. People just say, oh, well, the bag of chips is now $3.
Yeah, the price raised. Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody ever thinks, and I get it, maybe it's a lack of, like, awareness, a lack of something, but dude, these fucking gas companies do not give a fuck about you. They do not give a fuck about us in any sense of the matter, especially when
most privatized communities don't give a fuck about you.
Here's the thing, though.
Their business is
they're such
privatized
scumbags
business.
that they put their shareholders above us. So the $500 billion they lost during COVID, They're just now getting it back. And who are they first paying off? Their shareholders before anybody. And think of like what happened. Look, it's been 2 years. Those 2 years of COVID just fucking straight up.
Yeah.
So
when you talk about losing 6 years of your life, you only lost 4. To be fair.
I know, right? Maybe 3 to be. Like
yeah, three, 4. Look, I am a 25-year-old male, and I do not identify as a 25-year-old male. I identify as a 23-year-old male. I lost 2 years of my life. I did.
What do you mean?
COVID came and just destroyed everything. Like, there was nothing to do. There was nothing. You lost 2 years of your life.
It was really.
It was so
nobody
bad.
Understands.
It was so bad that people went and got vaccinated the moment it was announced that if you're vaccinated, you can be outside.
And then look what happened.
And this was, first off, vaccines, from my understanding, take 2 years to be clinically tested. This shit wasn't even tested. It was like, throw that shit in there. They're all going to take it. Let me tell you, I laid down for the program. I laid the fuck down. I am now fucking, I think I have 4 at this point.
You have 4? You're joking.
3 or 4.
I have none.
One of them.
I have none.
Yeah, you have none. Yeah, but look at you right now. You're sick. Who's not sick?
Well, ooh, that's a good one.
Strong.
Damn, bro. You trying to send me to the hospital?
I think you're...
Bro, you sound like those people who are like, yo, if you don't have it, you're going to die.
I think you're going to die.
Look at me, motherfuckers. You know? Hey, but check it though.
You're actually in the healthiest state of your life, to be fair.
Not mentally though.
Yeah, physically starts first.
Starts first. It does help though a lot, because like the sense of dread really pales in comparison to the sense of existential crisis. But anyways, yeah, inflation hit a lot of people hard. The supply chain crisis hit a lot of people hard.
Yeah.
But you know what really makes me feel good is like a good show that can actually try and distract you a little bit from the disgusting reality.
Oh, like good entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like you know me, I love reality TV because it's just the best kind of television. Because scripted television, it's scripted.
But I heard reality TV is scripted.
No. But at its finest, it's real life. At its finest. Let me tell. Obviously, it's all scripted.
Explain.
At its what's really good? I want to watch the Kardashians on Hulu. I want to watch it. I'm just fucking. Hey, look, I'm not a fucking shill for this kind of shit. Like,
you're gonna turn into Scott.
Scott is literally who I'm based off of.
No shot.
Okay,
you're nowhere close to Scott right now.
Are you familiar with Lizzo? Do you know who that is?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me who that is? Who's Lizzo?
She is a artist in the industry who is known, in my opinion, she's known for making it very acceptable for all types of bodies to wear whatever they want to wear.
Really? Is that what she's known for?
In my opinion, yeah.
Okay, because I don't really know her like that.
She's an artist. I mean, a music artist, but all she does is talk about, being okay with your body.
Okay.
Basically.
I'm not familiar with Lizzo like that. I don't listen to any of her music. I've never met her. The only way I know her is through like the news, the media, whenever she's gone viral.
And what has she gone viral for?
She went viral for that see-through dress that she had on that one time at the Met Gala. I mean, she looking...
What did I just say?
She looking thick,
Wear whatever you want to wear. Be okay with your body.
Okay, so yeah.
Bring fat shaming back. Let's do it. At this point, fuck's sake.
So I decided to sit down and watch the first 2 episodes of Lizzos Big Grrls.
See, this is...
on Amazon Prime. Okay, because she just released it. And it's a okay, hear me out. She's doing it's a dance show. I hate this
world. Yeah,
it's a dance show where she brings on women, and then watch how I word this. Okay. She brings on women to help be her backup dancers. Okay? To be her backup dancers. Now, the premise of the show,
she doesn't discriminate.
It's basically
on the weight
it's American Idol, but for dancers. It's not so you think you can dance. Well, actually, yeah.
Is there discrimination?
What are you talking about?
Is there discrimination?
What discrimination? I don't know what you mean.
Like,
the show is called Big Grrls.
Most
with 3 R's.
Most dancers are very fit because they're moving all the time. Would you say
Where are you going with
In
this,
your
Nick?
opinion, would
Where are
you
you
say
going with
these
this?
people can move very well without breathing very hard? How
The
about that?
girls that Lizzo chose
Mm-hmm.
are good dancers. Now I
Okay.
look, hey,
Okay.
they're good dancers because
What's the
it's
weight?
a competition.
I just gotta
Huh?
ask. Like, how big are they? Like,
How big? These women,
legitimately, like, I'm
Okay.
not even trying to be a dick, but how big are
Lizzo
they?
says that her interest in this is to bring on plus size women
Okay, so they're
who-
plus size. Got it.
who
Mhm.
can dance.
Mm-hmm.
I have criticisms of certain things when it comes to body positivity, but here's something else about the show. Let me finish off with the good stuff about the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lizzo it seems like she's the creative director of the show or the executive producer, because she is just being herself. She, like, you can see it in there, like, she's really happy, like, she's actually having a good time, giving these women an opportunity to better themselves. And, like, no cap, like, she's actually, she reminds me of somebody that we know in the way that, like, when you find your success, you realize that helping others in the way that you were helped or guided to the people who really want it, those people will show up for you.
Yeah.
So it's a competition, right? So Lizzo has to pick 10 girls to take on tour, right? For Bonnaroo. I'm not familiar with the festival. Bonnaroo?
No, sir.
Okay, yeah, I haven't gone to a music festival in years. It's not that I'm a fucking child anymore. It's just that I don't do that anymore. You saw what happened at Astroworld.
Motherfuckers got sacrificed.
Hey, man.
Stuff.
So that's the thing. So, like,
Rest in peace. I'm just joking.
the joke about fat people,
Yeah.
right, and body positivity, I'm not being mean.
Is there a joke to that, though?
No, there's no joke to it,
Like-
because Lizzo understands
Like,
that.
biologically speaking, you are not supposed to be overweight.
Okay, but here's the thing. None of these women are overweight.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Actually, biologically speaking, there's a reason we're able to get overweight, and that's because at some point in our life we needed
Why are
meat.
you disrespecting these women?
They are overweight, are they not?
No, they're not overweight, man. They're actually real dancers.
To be fair, I haven't seen pictures of them, so
Look,
based on
if
that,
you saw pictures of them, bro, you go wild, bro.
okay.
You're gonna get canceled. You're gonna go wild.
Oh, you mean
You're
like
fucked
that?
up.
I thought you would think
You were
I would
so
be like
fucked up, bro.
attracted to them. I was like,
I don't
okay,
even
cool,
have to
like-
bring up shit, because look, these women are actually really working hard. It just bothers me. Well, it doesn't bother me because it's a show, but it's not a good dance show. Like, the first two episodes didn't impress me. It's like
What makes a good dance show?
Okay, that's a good question. I don't really know because
Like-
I'm not into dance shows, but I wanted to watch this show because I'm
Like the So You Think You Can Dance one, right?
it's like
is
the
that what it
American
is?
Idol of So You Think You Can
Yeah,
Dance.
so they bring on celebrities that you wouldn't think would move like that, essentially, right? And they teach them how to dance. That's what makes it a
Not
good
this,
dance show.
Not this. No. You know what? Maybe because I've only seen the first 2.5 episodes.
Uh-huh.
My judgment is a little. It's because
Clouded
it didn't catch
right
my
now.
attention. No, it just didn't grab my attention because it doesn't matter if you're like plus size or something and you can move. Like she even admits it herself. She's like, a lot of these women are gonna have to work hard. You're gonna have the energy. Like, if you don't have the energy to keep up. And it's like, I'm just like already imagining like by
They
the
should
end
go
of it,
play
these women have,
football.
like, lost all the weight they gained, right? It's just like, I'm like, oh, this is actually not a dance show. It's a fucking competition to see who can lose weight.
Let me tell you, if they got the footwork like that, they should go play football, straight up.
What?
If they got the footwork like that, they should go play football. Go be
Nah,
a
they got
fucking
that.
offensive lineman.
They got them heavies. Some of them got them heavies, bro. Some of them got that junk in the trunk, bro. No, here's another thing too. Like, they are, like, some of them do know what they're doing. I mean, they all do because they all have experience in choreography.
Yeah.
And things like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, if they're going to
And
be
Lizzo-
backup dancers, they
like,
better.
she didn't have to call it Lizzo's Big Grrls because she only takes on tour like girls that are that
So
size.
it could have been called Lizzos Girls.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like-
So this is my
Like,
problem.
why they gotta be big? Like, they're just.
This is exactly
Go.
my problem with this day and age, is that it's always an agenda trying to be pushed on you. Why couldn't it just be called Lizzo's Girls? Why has it got to be Big Girls? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why do we, when we're talking about trans people, why we got to say they're trans? Why can't they just be people? It's things like that. Like, why the fuck is there always an agenda to push it towards us? And if I don't watch Lizzos Big Grrls, or if I make a joke about her being a fucking linebacker or an offensive lineman,
Savage, bro.
I'm going to get like cut out for that. But like,
Yeah.
no, the reality is when you look at an NFL player, for instance, like an offensive lineman, they are of the same weight as this woman. So is it fair to say that she couldn't play in the NFL? I mean, that she could play in the NFL?
Here's the thing. Without...
The point being is
let's not compare
it doesn't need to be big. Why does it have to be big girls?
Okay. Look,
No, nobody needs to be big.
it's just that's what I was thinking. I'm like, this show kind of loses its like what it's trying to promote. Like, it loses it after like the first episode, because I'm like, I don't care that they're body positive about their weight or about the way they look. Like,
Yeah, I don't
if
give
you
a
can
shit.
dance, then you can dance. Like, yo, like don't.
Okay, I
don't,
feel you.
Yeah, like don't.
No, I feel
don't,
you.
Like, don't tell me that like, because like here's the funny part. Her lead dancer, who's worked with Beyonce, Rihanna, all the biggest names, bro, she's fit. I mean,
Exactly my point.
and like, but
Respectfully.
her career is dancing, and she's been a professional this whole time. So
Yeah.
I assume that her part of her genuine like activities keeps her that way.
Yes.
Oh, dude, there was a funny scene where they
completely.
feed them food, and I was just curious. I want to see. I was like, what are they giving them? What are they giving them? It's just like carbs and protein, right? Like energy food. I was like, okay,
yeah, no, that
okay.
makes sense.
They
Yeah.
were giving them energy food, right? Because it's a high intensity stuff.
What kind of food though? Like
Some
rice,
fire,
chicken,
Yeah.
Okay.
Brown rice with some chicken and
broccoli,
something else. Yeah, some
veggies,
like some sides. Yeah.
all that good shit.
One of the white girls, who's on the show, who works with Lizzo. Like, I swear to God, like, I'm not even fucking around here when I think that it's kind of like a token it's like tokenized for you to be fat in just the right areas. Like, she's got this belly fat that just hangs. This white girl, she is fine though. She is fine. Like, I gotta give credit where credit is. Like, she's fine. Like, but it feels like the only reason she qualified was because she's got this ring. She's probably a really good professional. I saw her get down with the trumpet and shit, but she's got like this just layer of fat. I'm like, that doesn't seem like. I feel like you're only hanging on to that because you want to be part of the big girls club. Because if she literally if she works out anymore, she's gonna look like a Barbie. She'll look like Barbie. But no, it's like they deliberately like.
Interesting.
This was just my weird thoughts, anyways.
Okay.
But the show like goes on to like the second episode, they do this drumming or the drum march or whatever, like drum line. They do like a performance, and there's a couple girls there that are struggling already. And that's just because they don't know how to dance. It has nothing to do with them being big. Like, again, like the big thing, like it was just like, ugh, like I don't care. Like, just give me a good dance show. Like, show me like what the real like thing is.
But it intrigued you by having Lizzo's Big Grrls is the point.
What intrigued me was like I've come across articles that have to do with fat shaming, body positivity, being comfortable in your own skin. They've all kind of blended together where this like idea of safe spaces, not having any hate around, like, just immediately avoiding any criticism or not even, taking it in. Right. It turns into an attack. Because the drama on the show is like, oh, one of the girls is trying to be a leader, right? Trying to take charge. But it's like, that doesn't really, again, like none of, like them being big doesn't play a factor at all in this show. It still sucks. I'm sorry. Like, I mean, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it didn't catch my attention in the way that I thought it was gonna. I thought there was gonna be like this.
Why did you think it was going to catch your attention that way, though?
I thought Lizzo was gonna help these women work through whatever issues they had through dance, but the only issue these girls have is, which has nothing to do with their bodies, because
eating too much.
Huh?
No, I'm fucking with you. That one's a joke.
Bro.
That one's a joke.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't. You were being serious. I'm just kidding.
No, I wish I had that issue. I wish I ate too much. Honestly,
you also have an issue of being underweight.
Yeah.
And you just have to.
As a man who knows that I should be more healthy, more fit.
Well,
I understand
more
that.
healthy, more fit. Like, these women are fit. Like, they're fit for their size. It's like I get it. Like, some people will be like, yo, that woman does look like. I mean, who am I to say? To them, like, yo, you.
I'm gonna look up what they look like right now.
You have it on Cartwright, right? Not Omni?
We have it on cardboard.
Okay, thank God. Okay,
Don't disrespect me.
I swear to God, because
I
this
swear to
motherfucker
God,
last
over
week
you.
we recorded an episode. This motherfucker said, "Oh, that shit didn't record." I was about to fucking smack him twice upside his head.
Not me.
Not me. But the show, look, outside of like the big girl thing, again, it's just not a good dance show. The body positivity just falls flat. Like I don't. It doesn't pique my interest like that. And again, I'm not a dance show guy. Even if it was like, I guess
Okay, but see, here's my thing. These women do not look like Lizzo.
What do you mean they don't look like her?
They don't look like Lizzo.
No, you're
Like-
you're saying that?
Okay, let me ask you. This is ignorant because I've never seen Lizzo dance. Like, I've never seen her perform.
They showed her
whatever,
some clips.
right?
Go.
But in your opinion, do you
Mhm.
think she can perform on the level where she should have her own dance show?
Yeah, there's a reason why. Look,
No.
the
Don't
best
get
part
that
about the
twisted.
show. No, the best part about
Yeah,
the show
go
is that
ahead, go.
Lizzo is a very successful artist. Like, good for her. She's a young woman, right? A young black woman who's an artist, has her show, has a following. She's a cultural icon at this point. She leads the charge in like body positivity. Like, good for her. Like, I have no issues with Lizzo. Like, Lizzo, like she's doing things that I would want to be doing. Like, using my power, to help others, right? Because that's exactly what she's doing, like through this competition. And a lot of these women who joined up and signed on were saying, hey, like, choreography and dance have always been a way for me to express myself and move forward. I've never, having this opportunity was like for them a blessing. So, dude, like, I just didn't like the show. But Lizzo, good for her. Just the show's whack. Take the body positivity out stuff. Focus more on the dancing and the competition.
These women don't even look big. That's all I'm
Bro,
gonna
that's
fucking
what I
say.
said.
These women don't look big, and this is my problem with this shit.
They look fine, right?
Is
They
that
look
if they
fine.
all look like Lizzo
They
and
all
they
look
tried this,
fine.
by all means, have this dance show. See who the fuck can be the most fit. All that. These women don't look big. I would consider some of these women thick, like,
Bro,
for real.
they're offended that you don't consider them big. That's offensive, dog. They call them by what they are, bro.
They're not big though.
No, they're thick.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
big.
thick.
No, they're
These
supposed to
women
be
are
big.
thick.
No,
When I
they're
look
supposed to be big. My bad.
When I look at
Big
Lizzo,
girls don't cry.
when I look at Lizzo and
Big girls
her
don't
body positivity shit, this is such a bad thing to say, but like, no, just no way. There's people, when people look like Lizzo, respectfully, they have a huge amount of health problems. She might have really good genetics where she hasn't dealt with it yet. I don't
She
know
got
how
them
old
precious
she
genetics.
is. Do you know how old she is?
No, she's probably 24.
Okay, so
25.
she's young, right?
Yeah.
So
You
this
didn't say- you didn't
this
catch that when I
body
said-
positivity is great, but let me put this on the record, and you can. Oh fuck! If we're still doing this, and if you still know me in like 8 years, and she still looks like this, that's a fucking lie. There's no fucking way she's gonna look like this. Because as you get older, these fucking health defects screw you.
All right,
nasty.
Dr. Ayala.
Completely. No. Look.
Uh-huh.
If these women look like her,
Mhm.
I would be all for this show. I would support it 100%. This is why I'm glad I looked. Because these women don't look like her, bro. These women are not fat. Lizzo is fat. That's the reality behind it. She's overweight. She's fat. It is what it is. But in 7 to 8 years, I promise every single person who's watching this episode and you're this far, I promise you, this woman will be either mad skinny, she'll have gotten liposuction, or she will like be fit. I promise you, because there's no way she's going to go into her 30s looking like this.
Okay, so here's...
No shot.
No, dude,
No shot.
Okay, you know what?
Her whole image right now,
Is
her
being
whole
big.
image right now is body positivity and being big.
That's what I'm saying.
it.
So she's not going to give that up.
So
She's not going to give that up because
She will.
No,
She
dude,
will.
You trust me. She's going to get canceled.
she
for being
will when
skinny.
when she goes to the doctor and they tell her as, yo,
Nah,
you're
bet.
going to die,
Bet,
like for
look,
real.
bet. She's not going to look. I feel like it's going to be like this because it's going to turn eventually.
7 to 8
flip-flop.
years, put it
It's
down.
going to flip flop where like like the people who were big lost weight due to their career.
Mhm.
And then they're gonna be attacked because like there's nothing I can do. I can't help my genetics. Like, I just lose weight because that's just how I am. And then you know what might happen? They're gonna feel a certain type of way when they're no longer big.
I'm just shocked that these women are not
because
big.
think about it, they're not gonna be big anymore, and then they're not gonna qualify as a big girl because Lizzo's like, I only bring on girls that are big.
This
I'm
show's
like,
not
okay,
even gonna last 2 seasons.
I don't honestly don't. I have to get through it because I want to see which one is the fittest at the end.
This show will not last 2 seasons.
Like,
Nobody watches
the best
this
part
shit.
about the show is Lizzo.
Only motherfuckers like
Literally,
you
like,
watch this.
Hey, you watch Bridgerton, dog.
Yeah, Bridgerton's a good show. You know how many motherfuckers watch Bridgerton? There's a reason it's #1 trending on Netflix right now.
How long has it been trending for?
A couple of days, because the new season just dropped. But for weeks, it was #1 trending when it dropped. Weeks. It's a really good show. Let me talk about it, because your show fucking sucks.
Go.
Your show's stupid.
Go.
Look, if you haven't watched Bridgerton, watch Bridgerton. It's about a society that comes together, and basically young women are married off to potential suitors that are of noble standing, essentially. So they do what is essentially, like, I went to a class called cotillion, and they learn like how to be proper in these settings.
What the fuck is cotillion?
Cotillion, you learn to waltz, you learn how to place your knife and fork properly. You learn pretty much how to dance, like as if you were in the old fucking revolutionary
Bro, you are
times.
white as hell.
I am white as hell.
Go.
Yes. Do you not see my skin tone?
What is it? Kataria?
Cotillion.
Cotillion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just watch Bridgerton. It's great. It's got a lot of fucking tension.
Just
in
watch it. Is that what you're gonna say? Just watch it. You're gonna bring up Bridgerton and not talk about it?
No, I mean, what do you want to know about it? How
I don't
about
really
that?
care is what it is. Because I mean, I'll try and watch it because I like.
Do you like rom-coms?
It depends.
What does that mean?
Like New Girl, I don't really watch it. I guess, yeah.
It's not like New Girl. It's nothing like New Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll check it out. I haven't seen Euphoria. I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a couple
How
of
the
things.
fuck do you talk about you like entertainment, but you've never seen Breaking Bad?
Well, bro, it's because like sometimes I just feel like dedicating that.
What did you do for 6 years of your life?
Nothing.
You should have at least watched fucking Breaking Bad.
You know what I did? I wasted my time watching Game of Thrones. Fucking.
Yeah, that's a
really
fair one. That ending was
swear.
tragic.
It's really, oh my god, so bad. But now let's move on from that.
Yeah.
What else we got? I guess I wanted to talk about something really important. It's important, but normally Nick doesn't like talking about politics. But in America, we live in America, and everybody uses Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody uses Amazon. I know this is towards the end of the podcast, but I think it's important. Amazon union workers in New York, I believe. I don't want to get this wrong. They won the vote to unionize.
Okay, yeah,
right?
that's big.
So yeah, that is super big because it's working class people, right? Like what I was saying earlier, like these people have no control over their lives when it comes to being an Amazon worker. Amazon literally tracks you at every step of the way when you're at work.
Yeah, that shit is weird.
And they basically track you at home if you have all their products. So here's the thing, like imagine you have a break. You have a 10-minute break. It takes you 5 minutes to walk to the break room. It takes you a couple minutes to use the restroom. You've got 3 minutes to walk back to your station. Right? And they keep track of things like that. You may think like, oh, you're probably just saying shit. Like, no, there's some people who just don't know what's going on. Like, Amazon is just fucking people so hard because what they do is they've got this high turnover rate in their warehouses because they see you as disposable, right?
Like,
you're just
as long as I get my motherfucking Amazon Prime delivery in 2 days, I do not care.
It's because,
I'm sorry.
if they, you've got workers.
I feel like I should go work at Amazon Prime. Now that I drive, I think I should experiment with this and tell you whether or not it's actually that.
No, because look, check it out. They're doing a good thing. Like, here's what happened with that unionizing, the vote to unionize, right? I believe because they still have to. It's not over. The battle's not over. They still have to fight for a contract. They still have to try and negotiate for something good enough for the people.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: the guy who his name is fuck. Let me just pull it up real quick because I have it here.
Bezos.
No, not Jeff Bezos. But the guy who organized this, his name is Christian Smalls. I just want everybody to remember that Christian Smalls from New York. Shout out to him. He started this movement where nobody believed that he could actually pull off unionizing these workers in Amazon, and it's a big city. So
Yeah, it is.
when this started, he got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Bernie Sanders, like some people, to mostly AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She had said, yeah, I'll help you guys out, whatever you need. Like, let's go to the rallies. Like, during the moratorium for the renters, right, for the people who couldn't afford to pay the rent during the COVID thing, when that was ending, Cory Bush, one of the senators, I believe, one of the representatives of our state, I forget where she's from, I'm blanking out, I'm sorry, Cory Bush. Christian Smalls was out there with them sleeping on the steps of the White House. Now, if you want to talk about security concerns, that's the White House, right?
Yeah.
Like, what really kind of security concerns do you have, right? To be clear, like, you're in front of the White House, you know? Let's not play games here. Like, it's the most protected area in the whole entire United States, besides like Area 51 and some of the places where we keep our nuclear weapons. And it grounds me in reality, because I like talking about this stuff. when I see like this labor movement that is nothing like what it used to be, because before people literally had nothing to fight against, right?
Yeah.
Fight with against.
Yeah.
Now it's different. You've got the power of social media, the power of, making people aware faster than the speed of light through like the internet, basically. So he fights this whole time to get it done, only for the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to drop out last minute. Her office ghosted him. They thought, you know what, this isn't going to happen, because what are the chances of them actually unionizing? Like, it's going to look bad on you. It's going to look bad on any of the Democratic representatives or progressive representatives that like tried to help. It's going to look bad on you.
Right.
So they called her out on it. They're like, hey, you decided to not even show up. You left them literally high and dry. She responds, Alexandria, she responds, well, they're not even in my district. Well, yeah, they're not in the warehouse where they work at. She's like, it's not in my district. Like a real snap back, right? Had nothing to do with that. Her constituents are the people that work there, right? Her constituents work there, and she didn't show up to say, hey, like, oh, congratulations or nothing. But you know what? Due to security concerns. But do you remember when she showed up at the Met Gala?
No.
No. She showed up at the Met Gala wearing a dress that said "Tax the Rich" in bold red letters and a white gown. Okay? She said she didn't show up to this unionizing, to the workers' union vote, because it was for security reasons and because the warehouse wasn't in her district. Like, all these excuses, right? But these are the people who are in our government who say they represent our best interest. And I think it gets away from many people when you realize that a lot of them do not have our best interests at heart. I hear all the time people who have health insurance who have issues with their health insurance because some things are covered and other things are not. And these are things that have been,
most most things on health insurance are not covered.
Yeah.
Most things.
And
like, you need a surgery too goddamn bad. You better throw fucking 40 grand in it.
I just brought this up because I thought Christian Smalls, a regular guy, did something really big. I'm sure he works really hard. I don't know him like that. I just only know him through the interviews that I've seen him talk at with Breaking Points, Crystal Collin friends. And they're really, to me, it's amazing because I can't imagine what it's like to have to pull something off like that, especially when you have representatives in our government saying, oh, we're going to help you. We're going to do this and that. And then they just leave you high and dry only for you to win. And then they show up for like a quick victory lap. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's so fucked up because people don't realize how hard some of these people work and the long lasting
But what if they were doing things behind the scenes that you don't know about?
No, that's not how it works. They don't.
What do you mean that's not? You don't know.
No, why would they do things behind the scenes? No,
because maybe they're not supposed to fucking be doing what they're doing.
No, they're not. There's nothing illegal going on here. The people who are fighting for this union are people who work and have their whole lives tracked.
But it's not in her district, so why is she touching it?
Her constituents are people who live in a district that vote for this representative, and those people are considered constituents of that representative. That's what the word means. So I was listening to them talk about it, and it's like, yeah, like these people who are fighting for better pay, paid vacation, right? Paid vacation time, because it is not fair to them that Amazon doesn't exactly give them the option to take time off, to have like...
They don't have to work there.
Okay. That classic answer. You don't have to work there. Okay.
That's a very real answer.
Yes, but you don't understand, like, it's about the working conditions and about the way you treat the labor market.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
blue collar workers...
Have you ever been a boss?
A boss?
Yeah. Like of a company.
Yeah, I am one right now of this company. No, honestly, no.
Right.
And
how do you treat me?
What kind of company?
No. How do you treat me?
I treat you good.
I get paid?
Yes, with food. But
I never get paid with food.
But here's the thing, though. Like, I don't comparing like a small company to a large corporation like Amazon, right? Jeff Bezos makes billions of dollars. He can like literally.
And he earned that. So why is it?
Earned
you're
it?
Right.
Okay,
yes,
here's the thing.
Earned it
at the expense of the labor of his workers.
There's always going to be an expense on someone's ass. It is what it is.
Unfortunately, the people that work in these Amazon warehouses actually do a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of walking.
Do you know how many good bosses there are in the world?
Yes, but those bosses are at the behest of their own bosses, who have no control over, like, the kinds of things that. Let's say you request, like, oh, hey, I'm sick. Can I please take time off? I know I don't have sick time, but is it possible? Yep. They'll say, yeah, okay, but just remember that you're not coming back in. Because if you have no paid time off, like, why would you? Okay, here's the thing. You
can take the time off, but you're not getting paid for it.
Sure. Again, Amazon does not care about their workers in the sense that they don't take the time to realize that it takes, like, if you have to experience what it's like working in a warehouse to understand that. Like, I've never worked in an Amazon warehouse.
Have you worked at a warehouse?
I've worked in a kind of warehouse.
What warehouse?
Here at the company, they have a kind of warehouse, but it's a small one. It's not big. But
what does a kind of warehouse mean?
Well, because it's a place where you store things, right? It's a place where we have product and tools and stuff. A lot of heavy machinery. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just it. Like, yeah, sure, they have options.
Keep going on about your warehouse, because I've worked in a warehouse. So
you understand how much hard labor it is.
Yeah, it is hard labor, but that's something I chose.
But that's not what I'm saying. It's not because you chose it. Some of these people just have no choice. Working there is their only way of life, and that's what they're fighting for. It's like, make it easier on us. Give us more time. Give us more paid time off. Give us more time to take a break. Stop tracking our every movement. Stop. Literally, like,
I agree with the track and every movement, and like be more lenient for sure.
They're at a level of efficiency where they can see how quickly you pack a box, how quickly you move pallets, how quickly you're walking from one end to the warehouse to the other.
Drive-thrus do the same thing, right?
Sure, but this is not the same as working in a warehouse.
Why not?
Because the long-term effects on your health actually do have an effect. Those affect you eventually, like, constantly doing the same thing over and over again. If you're a heavy lifter, if you're, in this monotonous work cycle, you're not considered human, because the company looks at you as disposable.
Everybody's disposable.
80% of the people on Earth do not care about the 20% of the people who
everybody is disposable. You can work at a company for 60 years.
Here's the thing, bro. Like, you have
and
to
the moment you leave, you will be replaced. Like, that is how it goes.
We understand that's how it works, because corporations don't care about people. But the working conditions are not good. That's the problem. They're not good. They're taking advantage of the labor. Like, these people are humans who have lives, who deserve to have a living while not being worried that because...
How can you say that when you've never walked a mile in their shoes?
Dude, you have to understand that, like, working and genuinely, like, working full time, depending on what you have. Like, if you're a blue collar worker who works in an office, your biggest stress is maybe showing up on time and making sure you get your work done for the day, whatever it may be. And then, like, I'm not sure. because I've worked in an office before, but office stress is normally around people's incompetence to do things efficiently, in my opinion. So I don't really get stressed out. It's more like, oh, the things I need to get done aren't done because somebody else is not pulling their weight. That's the kind of stress I'm under. But if you take a blue collar worker and you put him if you take a white collar worker, sorry, I said blue collar earlier, I meant white.
Yeah, white collar worker.
If you take a white collar worker and you put him in a warehouse job, they're not going to last 2 days because they don't know how heavy it is to constantly be lifting, putting things down, putting things up, moving across. Like, you'll feel like, and then when you start to realize, like, oh, Amazon also has control over my break time. So they see, oh, it took me 5 minutes to walk to the break room and then 5 minutes to walk back, and I barely had like 2 minutes to chill. It's like, well, that sucks because they need you back at the station like that. And there's like no nuance.
I think the solution to that would be just start your break when you enter the break room.
Okay, that would be nice, but there are these laws around that. That's why they made a union, because they want to be able to say, hey, like, our break should start, or at least give us twice as long, because if it takes us 7 minutes to go, or then another 5 to use the restroom or whatever, it's like you've already used up more than half, and you want to eat
twice as long. What are we talking about?
Like 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Like a 10-minute break is one thing, but a 15-minute break is another. It's like
there's 15-minute breaks.
You get there's some place, depending on how long you're working. Like, you get 2 10 minutes.
Yeah, 2 10 minutes.
And you get your lunch.
Yep.
And that's all I know.
Yeah, that's all I know. That's what I'm saying. What is this 15 minutes shit you're talking about?
Dude, it's necessary for people who aren't unionized that work at these Amazon warehouses. But here's the big catch. It's like, this is New York, right? It happened because what is Amazon going to do? Not deliver to New York? It's like it's one of the biggest cities. The real question is, will this work and will this happen in the smaller cities across the country? Idaho, Kansas City. You've got, these rural areas where essentially, like,
where Trump won.
And it has nothing to do with that. It's just a matter of like,
No. You said rural cities. I'm just making a joke.
I mean, like, anywhere where Amazon is in those areas, like those big companies, like, can they actually fight back and unionize in those areas? Because New York is just one of those places where, like, yeah, we're gonna make sure we don't stop doing business here. They still have to negotiate their terms of it. Then you've got like things going on in the middle of the country where if wages are different because you don't live in the big city, they maybe get away with a lot more than what they do with in other places. And we've mentioned stories before where Amazon workers have had to use the restroom in their truck because they're being timed when they deliver things. If they deliver a couch, they get 20 minutes to deliver it and set it up. It's like, okay, how the fuck do you set up and deliver a couch in 20 minutes? That's just unreasonable. Honestly, like, there are just some real unreasonable things that Amazon does to their labor workers that people are just not aware of, right? Like, we just don't see it because you get your packages on time, right? And I just think it's important that people understand that, like, those people who are working for Amazon are human beings. Please understand that, like, they're being watched.
Anybody working anywhere is a human being.
Yeah, so like,
treat people with respect.
Just be a little bit kinder. Show people some love. Like, there's no reason to be angry about your package not being on time. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. Like, it's really not. Like, I just thought it was something that we should bring up and I should talk about because I know it was towards the end, but I had to keep your attention somehow.
Should we talk about New Mexico?
New Mexico?
Oh, you didn't hear?
No.
Starting today, New Mexico has free college tuition.
What?
Yep.
Say that again?
New Mexico is offering free college tuition starting today.
Interesting.
For
Tell me a little more
adults
about it.
that want to go back to college, for new teen people going into college.
Do you want to go back to school?
Free college tuition.
Do you want to go back to school?
If I could go to a 4-year university, I would go, yes.
What do you mean, if you could go?
I don't plan on transferring.
Why?
Because I am getting my associate's degree and I am done with school.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I don't... Well, 2 things. One, I need to get my life going on. I need to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
And the second thing would be that I don't know what I would even get a bachelor's in at this moment. So...
I know it's something really weird's going on in the world. We live in very unconventional times, so we live in some of the best times ever. Anybody who tells you different is an idiot because things are so much better than they are now than they have ever been. Even if things don't look good, even if Flint, Michigan doesn't have clean water, you know, like God bless.
You gotta move on from that. That's been like 6 years.
I wish
already.
I could, bro. Like we got our own issues. Like really, like $8 trillion, $10 trillion.
What about the motherfuckers who, you know, like look. What's the price to fix Flint, Michigan's water again? What did they quote it at?
That's a good point. Like 20 billion or some shit.
20 billion. Okay.
20 billion, I said.
If all the
15
NBA
billion,
players that lived there or that were grown up there put together a little fee for themselves, right? They could fix it themselves. Why the fuck why don't they do that? Why we gotta rely on government to do that? Why?
Okay, so that's the part of freedom. You know, it's like, you know, we don't want government having too much control, and we don't want people, and the government doesn't want people to have too much control.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, we have issues with people where we've got like where we argue about culture war shit. You know, where we have journalists who are out there reporting on actual like events and like war crimes. And you've got do you know who Taylor Lorenz is?
No, I have no idea.
Taylor Lorenz is a former New York Times op-ed, opinion editorial editor or whatever. I could be butchering her career status or whatever, but she's a cultural journalist, right? She writes about modern stuff and things like that. She recently was interviewed by MSNBC, and she was talking about how she was super uncomfortable with the idea that she was being made fun of for being criticized for the fact that she is like a cultural journalist where her takes are where she wants her takes to be taken as gospel, right? Like she's kind of full of herself. Like she's kind of like your type. Like you'd really fuck the shit out of her and show her who's boss. And she's like traumatized.
I love to humble women. Yes.
I shouldn't talk like that. She's traumatized because.
But I like a woman humbling me too, though. To be fair.
I don't know what you're saying. What'd you say?
Like a woman to humble me as well.
No, she's not very humble because she's tried to cancel Mr. Beast before for saying a bad word when he was a teenager.
Oh, yes. Actually, I know. I feel like I've read an article of this.
She's also like attacked other journalists for criticizing her. But this MSNBC programming showed us that people don't like to be like they're trying to say that it's not okay to criticize journalism or journalists. Like if you like, I think like if you do the job, if you do your due diligence, I think you're allowed to be criticized if something isn't right or wrong. I mean, if it's right or wrong. Yeah. But it's not to attack you. It's not to like make you feel like less of a person or belittle you. No, like if your work is crap, then I think people will tell you. And if they're not, they're just lying to you, and it's not going to be good for you.
I mean, you can always improve writing and speaking.
Sure, yeah. She just doesn't want to improve because she's like she wants to be like this cultural phenomenon where like people will remember her as like the one on the front lines of reporting on like, you know, the effects of like, I don't know, like long COVID and people who don't talk about it and stuff. Like girl, we've moved on. Like, can you write about something really interesting? I don't know. Like she said, like she's. Like,
this is not exactly what you do every week.
Well, I try to bring some brevity. I don't know. Some like we haven't really talked about the war in Ukraine because it's really like
we don't know shit about the war in Ukraine. We really don't know shit. Like, that's not anything
you have to be careful. Yeah, like
it's the same with these fucking people who dip their foot in that. Stop. You don't live there. You've never lived there. Shut up.
The real journalists who are there, like
yes, if you're there, by all means, please, you know, let me know what it's like over there, what's going on, why it's going on, all that. But if you're in the fucking States and you're commenting on it, shut up.
Yeah,
shut up.
It's like
you don't live there. You don't have family there. You've never been there.
Or at the very least, like understand a little bit. And it's hard to understand really what's going on because a lot of information that comes over is like filtered through. Some people are doing a good job. Some people are not.
Yeah, it could be biased. It could not be biased. That type of thing. Yeah.
Just be careful of what you see on the news. Don't trust what you see because...
Do not trust all media sources.
Yeah, because the mainstream media, a lot of it is doctored to show you... And it sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's not. Like, literally.
It's
like,
not.
I think it's almost common common knowledge that the mainstream, only like most people, but yeah, there's some people who don't understand that mainstream media is literally trying to influence your decisions on not just the way you vote, the way you react to people, how reactionary you are. Like,
there is a given agenda,
like, yeah.
for sure. Like every time there's a prop that'll really hurt someone big,
and you can tell. You can tell by the advertisements who's got their hand in the cookie jar. And that's really all it is. Like before, I used to be this weird conspiracy theorist about like the Illuminati and like the cabal of people who run the place. It's not that. It's just like when you're a huge company, it's like it takes a lot to run it. Like you don't have control over every part of it. You may be involved in every part of it, but not as much as it was when it was, when you started it in your garage. Like, that's just something to think about. Like some companies just do what's the flavor of the month, whatever flavor of the month the politics are. Like Nike has a whole section dedicated to plus size women. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but that they're doing it because it's like what's cool. It's like what's next.
Yep.
And then if they're not
do you remember when okay, yeah, I have the words. Do you remember when Trump was pushing the undocumented families apart, right?
Which started before that already.
Yes, which started before, but he was putting them in cages and that type of thing. He wasn't.
They were already in there.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you get what I'm saying? So then you get to the Super Bowl and every single commercial is about coming together and
God bless America.
God bless America, that nobody's undocumented, all this shit, right? It's like...
I missed that commercial, huh?
There was a bunch.
Really?
There was a fucking bunch of commercials.
Okay.
A bunch.
Okay.
My point being is that these companies will take what is trending and they will run with it because they know. I think it was Pepsi maybe that did one of them. No, it wasn't Pepsi. It was someone like a big player in the commercial industry, and they got so much like good feedback from their commercial, and because of that their products went up, not in price, but the sales went up and all these things. And it's just like, it's crazy to think about, but having a good marketer will really help anything you do. There
are a lot of people who have good things, but if you can't market it, who the hell's gonna know? Like this podcast. But we're working on that. This episode is coming out Tuesday, so don't be surprised. I hope nobody's thrown off guard. I hope people catch it. We'll promote it, to make sure people get it out on their feed and stuff.
Yeah.
I had nothing really else on the agenda. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about real quick before we wrap it up?
Yeah, if you're in Los Angeles, the Lakers suck, the Dodgers suck. Sports are really hard for us right now. Lakers need to get it together, but they can't anymore. LeBron should get shipped off. Russell Westbrook should get shipped off. Anthony Davis should get shipped off. The Dodgers will pull it back around, but as far as sports go, it's a sad time to be a sports fan.
I don't really know. Well, okay, so I guess I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Dodger fan.
You're from LA. You're all the above.
I'm from LA. I'm all the LA fans or whatever. I don't keep up enough with basketball, baseball, hockey.
Yeah, Kings are always going to be good. That's just a good
True. One. Here's the thing, like, I watched UFC. I've been into UFC recently. Like, that's just going to be good. You got UFC 273. You got the first pay-per-view event happening in the Philippines.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it seems kind of cool.
Huh. Big Pacquiao's supporting it, huh?
I'm more into like Formula One. Like Formula One's coming to Texas, to Nevada, I think, and there's one in Mexico City.
You watch NASCAR?
I actually tried to watch NASCAR. I watched the video about NASCAR history and stuff, and what I learned was, fuck Dale
Earnhardt
Jr. Fuck him. No, it's fuck Kyle Busch. It's fuck Kyle Busch. Yeah, fuck Kyle Busch. Because that was a fucking dick, and because they don't like it. Well, there's like this thing. It's fuck Kyle Busch because it's the internet, and it's like, well, Kyle Busch is kind of a dick, and he's shown that he can be kind of a dick. But I really don't know the history. That's all I really know. And let's go, Brandon. That's all else I know.
Sleepy Joe.